What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast, and this is a clip of Senator Toomey. And here, Jungle Inc. Lays it out perfectly. He says the SEC owes the American public transparency, and then he drops a dirty secret. Crypto is an unregulated market. SEC regulates securities, CFTC derivatives. No one regulates the trade of digital assets, and that is going to change. And Gary Gensler will be given full authority. I don't know if you guys remember when Rosie Rios was interviewed when she first joined Ripple, and she was saying how she thinks that Gary Gensler is the perfect man for the job. Now, what does that mean? Well, it could have meant a lot of things, um, but primarily, I think she might have been referring to if there's going to be anyone who regulates this space, it'd be him because he's well qualified to do so. And so it makes you wonder if SEC regulates securities and CFTC derivatives, are they trying to create a separate entity that regulates the trade of digital assets? I'm asking the question here. That's very plausible. Now, we see a lot of work being done with this case and with the SEC trying to gain control and power of this space. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know Elizabeth Warren is pushing for the SEC and Gary Gensler to, provide guidance and whatnot. And honestly, folks, it seems like Gary Gensler is coming down hard on exchanges and everything. So fasten your seatbelts because this is what I've been saying. It's going to be very volatile. And this month through the end of the year is going to be, you got to be prepared. And that's why I always stress having a financial plan, because if you don't have a financial plan going into it, you're gonna you're gonna regret either not selling or selling too much. So have a plan in mind. Now here's a clip by Senator Toomey who lays down this nice 40-second piece of nugget information.
But I think it's also the case that the SEC owes Americans generally, and certainly everybody in this space, the transparency of saying, here's how we're looking at this. Here's why we think this category is a security and we're going to regulate it as such. These are not securities and they have to either be unregulated or regulated somewhere else. The cash market for commodities are not federally regulated. The CFTC regulates futures. The SEC regulates securities. Of course, we have multiple bank regulators. But, we've got to sort this out, and we ought to have transparency before we go with enforcement.
Let me.
But I think
there you go. And clearly, there's no transparency with it. I mean, you're seeing it everywhere. There's a lot of corruption. There's no transparency. There's no honesty when it comes to this stuff. And people are starting to take note. And it's a real tragedy that that's taking place. A real tragedy, I tell you. Now, it's interesting because Charles Gasparino, who works at Fox Business Network, he's seems like senior correspondent, but I don't know if that's his actual title. But anyways, he's picking up this case. He seems to have responded to one of DAI's tweets, and here he's picking up the case. He says SEC sources tell Fox Business the logic of the agency's case versus Ripple is that the company's infrastructure is still being built out. So XRP, the token, which was used to finance the thing, is considered a security. The Ethereum infrastructure is totally built out and has been for years, thus it's clearly a commodity. Hester Pierce argues that all may be the case, but as SEC splits hairs, crypto innovation is being stifled. So what's needed is a safe harbor that pulls back all this enforcement action. Okay, so he's looking into the case, and I think he should definitely check out. He was told, I saw a tweet where they're saying he should go and look at John Deaton's threads as well as DAI's videos to get a full scope, and I think they're helping him out with that. He also has been asking questions. And then, here, before I do that, I want to go over this tweet. He said, "Something crypto mom Hester Peirce recently told me, and it rings very true. Without consistent regulations on cryptos, the SEC will stifle innovation in the U.S. and innovation will move elsewhere, as it is doing. In my humble opinion, maybe that's the government's endgame to cure the biz." So it seems like he's been having some communication with Hester Peirce, and I mean he's pretty well versed in this space. But it's interesting how he's picking up this case now. Um, and sometimes you gotta wonder. There's always that suspicious side of you that always has you gotta wonder. You really gotta wonder. But the fact is, he's picking up the case. The timing of it is very impeccable, if I must say. But we'll see where this goes. And he's now like he's been posting a lot of tweets. What may need to happen with crypto regs is the creation of a new separate regulation agency. That's what we just talked about. He says it's too much of a gray area now, and the SEC is regulating through enforcement, which is always opaque. It's turned out to be like insider trading, which is defined based on who is running the government, folks. I mean, he made it clear there, and I talked about this right before, showing you the Senator Toomey clip, and basically what he was saying. Okay, this is something is gonna happen, and I'm gonna do another video here discussing that not only are we seeing this corruption and this and not seeing transparency with the SEC, but this is happening with the Federal Reserve, and something is up and something is happening, and the timing of these events are all coincidental, it seems like. But I'll go ahead and show you. Stay tuned for the next video. Like and subscribe, comment below, share this video with other people, help me get the word out. And this is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.